I love these things. They're handy for reminders, labeling, even art. But for Jenna and Chris, the Post-it note played a very big role in that proposal. Coming right up in today's episode of Dream Weddings. What makes a dream wedding? Some brides think that dream weddings only happen in big cities or exotic beach locations. But that's not true. Dream weddings happen every weekend in small towns all over America. It takes good planning, attention to detail, and having your very own dream team in place. Stay tuned and I'll show you how it's done. So after many interviews, do you guys remember Jenna and Chris? They actually met in high school. They were high school sweethearts.
Oh, they were pretty funny.
They were extremely funny, but how they met, their stories were different.
We met technically at a football game. And Chris likes to tell a story one way, I like to tell it another way. Mine's the truth, though. He was standing there very, very shy in high school.
Come on. Do I seem like the shy type?
Never.
I literally remember walking up to him and being like, hi, because at this point I kind of had like a little bit of a crush on him, wanted to get to know him better. And he like won't even look at me. He's like, hi. And finally he started, that's so true. Finally, he started talking to me and then we were pretty much inseparable for almost 3 years.
After Chris's senior year, they broke up. She was trying to get a hold of him, but because of his traveling with work, he was not too responsive.
I didn't hear from him and we didn't talk for 7 years. And then, a little over a year and a half ago now, I found out that he bought a house in Harrisburg. I talked him into going to dinner with me and they literally kicked us out of the restaurant that night.
Yeah, after the first dinner, we both pretty much knew. I mean, this wasn't just, you know, your first love, this was the real thing.
So here's where the Post-it notes come in. Chris used them to propose.
First, on the garage door, there was a note that said, whoever told you all the ways I love you. And then underneath that was another Post-it note that said no with a question mark. And then I had a flashlight hanging with like one of those little suction cup hooks. I know how she is and I know how she'd want to remember this, so I have a clipboard that says, you'll need this. And I have all these little candles around the house and basically just every reason, you know, why I love her.
So let me interrupt you for 1 second. I'm very impatient and literally...
Really? Because she just shut me up.
That's right. There was a Post-it note at every candle. There were literally 75 candles in our house. So I'm here with this mini flashlight and then pitch dark in this candle, like, and I wanted to read it obviously because I wanted to know everything it says, but I know he's upstairs.
Yes.
So I'm like reading all of these things, like, yep. Like,
Finally, I mean, she gets up there and, you know, she's, you know, smiling ear to ear, very happy.
I have a jewelry box that I used since we dated the first time. And he dug it out and wrapped it. And I open it and there's a Post-it inside that says, will you spend your life with me? Aww. So I know.
Awesome.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I think we should use the Post-it note idea through the wedding.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you know what, because of their personality, Derek, remember the caricature artist, Ali Tome?
Oh yeah.
I think we should use her for the day of the wedding.
Oh, you know, they make a giant Post-it note, like easel size.
That's even better because then I can actually get little Post-it notes and give them to all their guests for wishes.
Very cool.
Did you know that the Appalachian Trail running from Maine to Georgia is nearly 2,200 miles long and attracts 2 to 3 million visitors each year? And the portion of the trail that crosses central Pennsylvania is considered to be one of the most grueling parts of the walk with steep climbs and rocky trails. Just a few miles south of here is Feliciata, a great venue with formal gardens. It couldn't be more different from this trail. And that's where Jenna and Chris decided to have their wedding. After you get engaged, two things happen. You get the dress and you pick the venue. Out of hundreds of venues in central Pennsylvania, why you chose this particular one?
well, we had originally planned to have a destination wedding. And after speaking with our family, they kind of let us know gently that they'd be disappointed if not everyone could go.
Oh.
So we kind of had to regroup, and we wanted somewhere in the area that was beautiful, that reminded us of somewhere like an island or something beautiful like that. His mom actually loves gardening, and she had been here for a garden tour and told us about it, and this is actually the first place that we came to. And literally when we came to the bottom and looked up, it was kind of like, how could you ever go anywhere else?
I'm glad it's in Harrisburg, you know, but it doesn't belong in here.
No.
Right, it
You feel
definitely
like you're
doesn't.
in Europe.
Yeah, it's cut right in the middle of the woods, and we had no idea this was here.
My family came from Italy, and I had created a lot of other gardens, and I wanted to pretty much put together an Italian garden. It took 5 years to build this garden. And what makes an Italian garden so different than other gardens is it's not a flower garden. It is basically terraces and walls and sculptures, and they even make sculptures out of the trees and shrubs, so that when you look around the garden, you are literally looking at a city. It's actually 8.5 acres of land here, a creation of gardens of all time, starting with oasis, which would have been 200 BC, coming up to modern and including the Renaissance, including the Dark Ages, including the Greco-Roman amphitheater time period. So it's a history lesson.
What about your monuments? Are they locally or are they from Italy?
These were all done by a sculptor in Baltimore, Maryland. His name is Bill Duffy. I have traveled around the world. Gardens like this were only created by kings and emperors. So I feel very proud to just be a regular person taking the time and effort over all these years to create these gardens.
With so many gardens and things to see, I was curious to find out how Jenna and Chris were going to handle the logistics of their ceremony and reception. Okay, so the pavilion, this is where you're getting married.
Yes.
And the position's right in here then?
Yes, all of the girls will walk from the back right to here, and then the guys will be lined up on that side. So everyone will be kind of walking this way, and the guests will have a view of...
Oh my God, look at this. What about the music?
We're actually gonna have a harpist.
Okay.
And we're not sure, where do you think she should go?
Oh, okay. I think your harpist should go in here.
Okay.
You know, music sometimes is important, you know, and you don't want them to be hidden, especially if they have an instrument that they're going to be playing. I think it should be seen. It's like a concert.
So right next to where we're standing to get married.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know,
I like
somewhere in this area, so that way they can actually see.
that. Okay.
Okay, so after your ceremony, you know, your cocktail hour is going to happen. So people are going to come through this way and just keep walking all the way, all these gardens.
Yeah, for the older people, I mean, seems like 4 acres to get up there. So, I mean, they've graciously have, what is it, a trolley?
A coach bus that will take them through the back up to the top if they need assistance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then after cocktail hour, the coach bus will take, I think it'll probably take about 3 trips to get everyone from the cocktail hour down to just across the street to the garden room, which is where our reception will be. Every time we bring someone here, whether it be a friend or family, to look at it, their reaction is kind of...
It makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why we picked this place. I mean, this is more for the guests than for us. And I mean, it's just, I mean, you can't help but be speechless whenever you look at the place. And I mean, it's gonna be something that we'll remember forever.
And this is the ballroom. Wow.
It's bigger in here than I remember.
Yeah. It's very yellow. And it's good, you know what I mean? It's not bad, but I know you don't have any yellow in your theme.
No.
Do you have lighting or anything like that?
We would have loved to have lighting, but we didn't get it fit in our budget, so. Yeah, so we're just gonna work with the outside lighting with all the beautiful windows.
Exactly.
And then add as much color in here of our own colors as we can.
Okay, so show me where everything's going to be.
Okay, so over here will be the bar, like a gift and card table, and then we'll also have the table assignment cards over there. Then the sweetheart table and the head tables will be right on this side. The remainder of the tables will be over there, and then the round table in the middle is the cake table.
This is a very big table. and your cake is a nice size. But by having a huge table, it might literally make your cake smaller. And luckily this is glass, which is really nice because you can still see the floor. So put them in a higher pedestal so the cake looks taller, sits higher. I think it'll look really pretty. And hopefully those doors will not be ajar, will not be open at all, so that way the heat doesn't come in. Because I believe it's buttercream, correct?
It is. And we are going to take your advice and actually cut it right after the first dance. So it stays beautiful and everyone will already have had a chance to see it, and then it'll be ready to serve after dinner.
Good. We're gonna bring Deb Catalano. We're gonna talk about the reception. Okay, what about the food? Can you tell us about the food?
I think the food is the most important thing in the wedding, and I think it's the least that we have to worry about.
Our taste test, we were blown away with the food. I mean, there's not a choice that you could make for our guests that they're not gonna just love.
We're having steak tips, stuffed chicken breast. It's stuffed with this cheesy risotto with tomato cream sauce, which was by far my favorite. I mean, that was that was so good.
I want that.
You want that? Okay, you can have that one. And then a sea bass with like lemon butter sauce.
Well, I want that too. So I want the chicken and the sea bass.
And the sea bass.
Yeah.
Okay, just for
2
you. Got
plates
it.
for me. I love
Do you want a to-go box also?
We have a surprise for them.
Surprise?
Because of all the planning and all the decision making, we know how stressful that could be. So we want to give you both a 1-hour massage as a couple. You'll do it
Well, that would be
together.
really nice.
She definitely needs
All
it.
extensions.
Aw, thank you so much. That's very nice of you.
We can do it inside or outside.
Ooh, outside sounds neat.
Felicita is known for its European gardens, but there are over 800 acres that make up the resort. There are the lodges in the inn with a variety of room options, a beautifully landscaped golf course. Besides the ballroom, there are 2 other places to eat, a formal restaurant and a grill, which is the perfect place to enjoy a cold beer after a day of fun in the sun. But my personal favorite is the spa. Pedicures, manicures, facials, a great place to work out, and massage. I love my job. Okay, I'll talk to you later. So sometimes it doesn't matter how much you plan. Things happen the week before the wedding that puts the bride into a panic. That was Jenna. She was hysterical. The DJ she hired, who was a friend of a friend who does this on the side, just told her he couldn't make it. Seriously? We only have 4 days till the wedding. This is why I always tell my brides to hire professionals. Your wedding is no place to have a friend of a friend, and music is so important. There's a big difference between hiring a wedding professional and someone who does weddings on the side. Ask for reference. Be sure to have a contract. And think twice before going the friends and family route with anything that is important to you. When in doubt, use a dream wedding site. We only allow professionals to advertise with us. I visited Pennsylvania Bakery the day before the wedding to see Jenna and Chris's cake come together.
Well, they ordered a 3-tier, but we're going to give them a 4-tier, just to give them a little surprise.
You're gonna give them a 4th tier?
Yeah. Buttercream icing, and then they want it with a coarse sugar.
Okay.
Gives it like that elegant, glistening look. It's
Exactly.
very pretty.
Yeah, because she's very girly, and obviously
I love
we
the
know
pink
that she
colors.
wants the pink. Yeah, and then you're definitely gonna put a little bit of glitter with the sugar. Are you gonna add anything else to this?
Well, I may add a brooch.
Oh my God,
A
yeah.
bow and a brooch.
She will love that. Oh, that's gonna look really pretty. And then you set it up on site then. I can't wait to see the finished product tomorrow, Felicita. It is overwhelming. There's so many pastries in here, like from cake, bagels, and everything. But you know, my favorite is always cake, so I'm gonna give it a try. Derek, you're gonna have to try this. It's really, really good. For all the pre-planning that goes into a wedding, there's just no getting around the last-minute preparation that everyone needs to do. Michelle assembled the cake on site, adding rose petals and the pedestal to really accent the cake. After contacting Ron Dusak and the team at Events Done Bright, all of my concerns about lighting were handled. Angelique, tell me
Yes.
what Ron is doing today.
Oh, well, he has a lot of surprises for today.
I know he does.
Yes, he's always ready to do his magic. And so, of course, his magic is done with lighting and with also some additional fun elements, such as the bride and groom dancing on a cloud. The idea is to kind of create that magic and to create a memorable event that people are going to be talking about for a long time.
I know they ran into an issue with the music and they just hired you recently, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I got the call on Tuesday to do the wedding today, so it's a little nerve-wracking for me. I'm kind of coming into this blind. I usually like to meet with my clients a couple times, get to know them and what their expectations are for an event. And I didn't have the luxury of doing that this time, but I'm glad I could help them out.
Well, actually, you're a hero. You came to the rescue. As the room came together, I got to see some of the fun details that Jenna and Chris, their bridal party, and families had created that added a lovely personal touch. Photos of the bride and groom holding the table numbers, intricate place cards, and two favors, one created by and the other to honor Chris's mother, a 2-time breast cancer survivor. The pink ribbons could actually be planted to grow wildflowers. Chris himself created this fabulous picture display chronicling the couple's long history. I, of course, had my own surprise for the couple, provided by caricature artist Ali Tome. This is awesome. You have no idea. Thank you so much. Tell me the process.
Oh, you just meet the people, you see how their faces work, and you get to know them a little bit. Their personalities just come out in their pictures, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, it's definitely them. The room wasn't the only thing to get ready. The bridal party started their day at Sa's Salon for hair and makeup.
We did airbrushing today. She was going for the natural look, a little bit of glam on the eyes. We added some false lashes for her to make them pop.
Oh yeah, it looks really pretty. You look different.
I actually have eyelashes now.
She has eyelashes now.
I want to look fancier for that day. And
Absolutely. And what about the hair?
But she wanted to wave and curl her hair as a challenge to curl. To make sure the curl stayed in, we did a set. And because it's going to be a long day, underneath we braided the hair. So that when we anchor the pieces of the large curl in there, it has something that's going to hold up throughout the day.
Oh.
And the proportions, when you look at the profile, I think fit really well too, because even though we did a little bit of a
poof in there,
a bump, you don't want to get too exaggerated because then you lose the profile. Well, she's gorgeous.
You're ready to walk down the aisle.
I'm ready.
But not quite. The bridal party went to one of the lodge rooms at Felicita to dress, and Teresa from Tara's Bridal met us there to help Jenna with her dress.
She has a beautiful Alfred Angelo dress. The cut is a fit and flare. It's a nice low cut, so it's going to come real close to her body, show her figure off beautifully. And the advantage to a dress like this with Jenna's, that's going to really make her look nice and long. So the fabric is mostly a netting over a satin base with a lot of lace applique.
I'm glad you came in because this is a lot of work.
It takes a minute. It's not difficult. You want to make sure the lace is coming through the hoops and laying even, and you just take it all the way down loop by loop. And then I tend to get several loops done and then go back and tighten it up as I go.
What a beautiful dress and bride. Jenna and Chris got married on a picture-perfect June day. The gardens at Felicita were in perfect shape, and the pavilion made an elegant and dramatic setting for the ceremony. While the guests made their way to the upper pavilion for cocktails, the photographer took full advantage of the gorgeous setting for pictures with the bridal party. Finally, it was time to show the bride and groom their reception area.
Oh, look at the lighting. That looks awesome
can't wait
in
till
here.
it's nighttime.
I know, I can't wait for it to be dark.
I know you wanted lighting, so...
We did.
And I want you to meet who did your cake. Michelle. So she added an extra tier in there, you know, and she actually added a couple more brooches to your bling bling.
The sugar looks amazing.
And then we have one last surprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's more?
So remember my assistant that was following me around? She's not my assistant.
She was drawing that today?
Yes.
I was wondering what she looked like she was drawing something.
I'm so impressed. Look at that. Thank you so much. That looks awesome.
It looks
And
I can't believe you just did that today.
well, it's in a huge sticky note because this is how you propose.
I love that. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And we bought a lot of these because I want every guest to give you wishes and sticky notes so you can put them in there.
That's a great idea.
Thank you for everything.
Like many couples, Jen and Chris thought that they needed to travel to find an exotic location for their wedding. By agreeing to stay local for their families, they found a venue and the wedding pros that gave them exactly what they were looking for. Thank you, Jen and Chris, for reminding us that sometimes you just need to take a second look to find out that your dream is right around the corner. See you next time. What is Deb doing?
This is your Olympics right here, Olympics.
Camera away.
Have another drink. Stop staring at me.
And now you like giggling, right?